Hello, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. It is Fantastic Friday, and it's cold. It is absolutely chilly outside where I am. It's even trying to snow. I don't know what it looks like where you are, but where we are, again, it's a little bit chilly. So, I hope everyone has had a wonderful day. Hi, Virginia. How are you doing? My name is Felicia, and I am your number one joy jewel. And we are here today to just spread the joy. We are here to spread the joy. And we want to make sure that everyone is full of joy as we are getting ready to go into the holidays. So, as you can see, our title is Let's Keep It Elevated. And I'm sure you're wondering, well, my goodness, what exactly is it that we are supposed to keep elevated? Well, look here. Let me tell you something. As we're getting ready to go into the holidays, we absolutely have to keep our joy elevated. You're going to be around families. You're going to be around friends. You're going to just be in a time of shopping, which, oh boy, if anybody like me, I can't stand shopping. But in any case, you have to do what you have to do. Going into the grocery stores can be a headache. Cooking can be a headache. But guess what? We have to keep ourselves full of joy so that every dish that we cook, it is full of the love of God as we're cooking it. Let's not cook it with a frown on our face. We want to make sure that our dressings and our sweet potato pies and pecan pies and let's see what else we like. Pound cakes, all the good stuff. Yeah, we got to make sure that those things are full of joy and love as we cook them. So, like I said, I think I want us to really make sure that we keep it elevated. First of all, I really want to talk to my moms. Now, as I stated, you're going to the grocery stores and it can be a bother at times, especially when you have your children. But I want you moms, I really, 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 really want you to look at how you're treating your children when you're in the grocery stores. I don't want you calling them out of their names. I don't want you just so stressed out that you're just yelling at them and treating them disrespectful. I want you to make sure that before you go to the store that, first of all, you pray about it. Don't let yourself get so tired. Second of all, please do not allow yourself to be so tired that when you go to the grocery store, you can't stand anything. And most of the time as parents, we will treat other people's children way better than we treat our own. We're much kinder to those other people's children than we are to our own. So moms, caregivers, be kind to your children. Be kind to them. Show joy toward your children. I really want you to exercise that. We have to keep our joy elevated. And like I said, I know going to the stores and having to do that treacherous cooking, it can be very, very hard. And it can pull a lot out of you. But like I said, let's be very intentional. Let's make sure that before we go to the store, that first of all, we're prayed up. Okay? Can you do that for me? Then make sure that you're not so tired. And I know sometimes, moms, that can be a little bit hard. You may not necessarily, be full of energy when you go, but I don't want you to be so tired either. I really want you to be intentional when you walk out that door and get ready to go to the grocery store. Can you do that for me, moms? I know that you can. So, also, I want you to make sure, hey, Gwen, how are you? I really want you to make sure that you're not super hungry when you go to the store, okay? Grab you a granola bar, grab you an apple, a banana, so that you are not so grumpy and grouchy. I don't want you to do that, okay? I want you to allow the love of the Father to just flow through you. Because again, I understand it can be hard, but I want you to smile a lot. Hey, Sandra, how are you? I want you to smile a lot. Do you know that smiling, even while you're in a time when you're a little stressed out and maybe a little tired, when you are smiling, first of all, it changes you. It changes how you feel about you. And it changes how the people around you are looking at you. Your smile can absolutely change the atmosphere. And remember, we are joy jewels. And because we are joy jewels, we have the ability to release joy wherever we are. So again, make sure that you're smiling. Keep your joy elevated, even when you're in that grocery store. Because I suspect, how many days do we have before Thanksgiving is coming? Not many days. I think less than about 10, maybe. Yeah, I think less than 10 days that we have before Thanksgiving is here. Maybe a little bit more. And we are probably, hopefully, most of us have started shopping already. And we don't wait until the last minute. That's another thing. Let's not wait until the last minute. Taking those children into the grocery store after you've come from work and you're dragging them in and they're tired and you're tired. And oh my God, that is a recipe for ugly. That's a recipe for ugly. So you try, and if you can get someone to watch your kids for you before you go to, while you're on the way to the grocery store, that would absolutely be the best thing for you to do. Parents, I get it. I've been there and I've done that. And I will tell you that, when my children were younger, that's exactly what I did. When I knew that I had to do a lot of grocery shopping, I would drop my kids off and say, hey, can you watch them for the night for about an hour or so? Because I had two girls at the same time. They were like 18 months apart. And let me tell you about my daughters. They tend to love to play in the store. Like, we do not have time to be playing, but they always wanted to find time to play. This is not the time, sweetie. So when you know that you are stressed for time and you're really trying to get your grocery shopping and stuff together, moms, caregivers, please drop them off at someone else's home. It first of all, it frees you up. It allows you the ability to be able to run through that store quickly without having to fuss at them, okay? So moms, I really want you to do that. I really, really, really want you to try to schedule some time so that you don't have to have them with you. Because again, it will help you, okay? So that's the way we're going to keep it elevated. How do we keep our joy elevated? We're going to keep our joy elevated by, number one, not going to the store when we're tired, okay? Trying to schedule it and keep our children, maybe drop them off at someone else's home. Again, the stores are crowded during this time. They are absolutely crowded. And the kids can be that, all the stimuli, all the stuff that's going on around them. Sometimes it can be hard. So I'm saying, moms, try to leave them at home. And let me give you another tip. You may want to, if you're not able to necessarily drop them off at someone's home, try to get off an hour or two early. Go get your grocery shopping done before you pick your children up. These are tips that you can do to keep your joy elevated in the midst of the holiday season. Because again, it's already stressful enough. It is already stressful enough. So that's the one thing those are a couple of things that I think are good tips. I know that I used them when my children were younger. So I want to pass those on to you. Those are ways to keep your joy elevated during the holiday season. Another thing, when it comes down to cooking once you get home, okay, you've gotten home, Find time, sit those kids down, sit them down, and give them something to do. If they're small children, you want to set them in a room where they can play, they can read, whatever whatever you can do to keep them quiet while you go put the food away and you begin to cook. Okay, that's another thing that you can do. Instead of having them running all over the house and aggravating you, because when you get aggravated, then guess what? Your joy level depletes. And what are we talking about? Let's keep it elevated. Let's keep your joy elevated. That's what I want you to do, moms. I really want you to, again, be intentional. We have to be intentional. Sister Gwen, I know you've had children before. Can you tell me some of the things you may have done to keep your joy elevated when you were raising your children? Just put it in the chat box, and we'll talk about it. But yeah, those are things that I really, because I know that the holiday season is coming, and I know that it can be a very stressful time, and I just want to help my moms, my caregivers, to not have this time, especially the time of grocery shopping, be too stressful, because I want moms to stay in a place of joy, so that as they are able to stay in the place of joy, then their children can stay in the place of joy. Okay, so that's so very important. You would let them bang on the pots and pans, and you would circle around the living room. Well, now, Sister Gwen, you had a loud household. Well, now, wait a minute, Sister Gwen, if they was beating on the pots and pans, how were you cooking dinner? I just want to know. Or did you have an extra set of pots and pans for the kids to be beating on, and the other set you were able to cook in? Hey, Mickey, how are you doing? Wow, I haven't seen you in a really long time. So yeah, so Gwen has her kids with pots, keeping them in that place of joy, and so that they're not bothering her, I guess, while she's cooking. But again, moms, I really want you to think about it. I mean, it's a place of joy and laughter, but at night I had soft classical music to play for them to go to sleep. Okay, well that's actually a very good tip. So my moms, as you can read this, Sister Gwen, she actually did the same thing I did when I was raising my daughters. I actually would put on instrumental praise and worship so that they could go to sleep by. And actually, there's a CD that I have. It's called 24/7. It's hard to get it anymore, but I forget the name of the. Hey, how are you doing? Yes. Hey, Jacqueline, how are you? But yeah, I used to do the same thing when my children were growing up, and I would put them to bed. Like I said, I would play that particular CD, and if they hear that CD right now today, they would be like, "Oh my God, Mama, I remember that CD. I remember that CD," and that was a good thing. So, moms, guess what? When you are putting your children to bed, that is an absolutely wonderful tip. Don't let your children go to sleep with loud music, with a lot of stimuli at night. Turn the lights down and turn up some music, very light music, and it helps your children. It really does, and it'll help you too. So yeah, that's a very good tip, and that's something actually I hadn't thought about that in quite a while, because yeah, my girls are all grown now, so I don't, of course, do that. I do it for myself. I don't necessarily do it for them anymore. But yeah, that's a very, very good tip for mothers. So again, that's a way for you to keep your joy elevated, because when you lay your children down and they have that low level of either classical music or praise and worship at night, it calms them down. It keeps them from being so jittery. It does. It helps them. It helps them quite a bit. So that's a very good tip to, again, keep your joy elevated. So again, like I said, I really want, now your son still remember listening to worship. Yeah, I'm telling you, now my kids, unfortunately, they don't necessarily want to listen to it anymore. But when they're around the house, when they're in the house, and I am and they hear the music, they remember it. They remember it. And isn't it wonderful that we as parents, hey Bishop Cage, how are you doing? That we as parents have put those type of things in our children. And see, guess what? Even though some of them may stray away and they feel like, I don't want that anymore. Guess what? When it's time for them to have the ability to do that again, they'll have it. They'll be able to pull. Yeah, it is. They'll be able to pull from that. When they have children, I promise you, they'll do the same thing. And you want to know how I know? My daughter watches a young boy. And every now and then, when that little boy is at my house, everything that I did for her when she was a little girl, she does it for him. And I'm just like, oh my God, she actually remembered. She actually remembered. And it's so in her now that amazes me. It absolutely amazes me that even though she may not necessarily want to live the life, so to speak, okay, she doesn't want to live the life, but she does a lot of the things that I did for her when she was growing up, and I get absolutely excited about that. And I'm pretty sure most of the parents on here feel the same way, because when your children pull from what you put in them, it just pulls your heartstrings, doesn't it? I know it pulls mine. Yeah, I know. Was it touchdown? Yes, it is. It is. It is an amazing thing to see your children do that. So again, that is my thing tonight. I really just want to make sure that my joy jewels, my moms, that you really keep your joy elevated during this season. Hey Maya, because the holiday season is going to be very hard, it's going to be very stressful, very busy. So I really want my joy jewels to make sure that you keep your joy elevated during this season, because it is so important. It is so important. It's actually going to make your holidays a lot more memorable if you're joyful and if you're not totally stressed out. You know what I mean? So let's not stress ourselves out. Let's be intentional. Let's take off work early if we can to do our grocery shopping, not take our children with us. Let's not go to the grocery store and being extremely tired. That's not good. Let's not go to the grocery store and we're so hungry and just, burnt out. Make sure, like I said, keep yourself a granola bar. Grab yourself a piece of fruit or something. Whatever you need to do to keep your joy level up during that time, because it is stressful. Those stores are packed, and you have to, look, as women and people of God, you have to deal with so many spirits when you are in those grocery stores. You have to keep your joy up. You have to, because you are dealing with all kinds of stuff. You really are. So I'm telling you, moms, please, 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 to keep your joy level up, take these tips down. Again, if you can get off work early, a couple of hours, make sure you do that before you go and do your grocery shopping then. If you can drop your children off and let them stay with someone while you're doing the grocery shopping, do that. Again, make sure that you eat something before you go grocery shopping. Do not go to the store when you're so tired. Don't do that. And you know what? One other good thing that I want to tell you, make sure you take a list. Make sure you take a list so that you're not so stressed out. These are things that I want you to be able to do to keep your joy level up during this holiday season. Because again, I know it's going to be stressful. It is going to be stressful. And as a matter of fact, when I get off of here, guess what? I am going to have to start writing my list out because I have to cook. Oh my God. I don't know. I used to really, really love cooking. I don't know if I just don't care for it as much as I used to. But it's okay. I love cooking for my family because I always find something different to cook. I never cook the same thing for Thanksgiving. I have different things. For the last couple of Thanksgivings, my family has absolutely loved the Caribbean theme. So I've made like red beans and rice. I've done curry chicken and all of that. Of course, I had to make all the regular stuff because my mother, she don't want me to just do that. She wants all the other stuff. But my family, honey, we was chowing down on that curry chicken, okay? I mean, I made like a huge basket of that pot of it. It was like, oh my God, it was super, super big. But it was so good. So we did all of those kind of things. So I don't know what my theme is going to be this year. I got to figure out another theme. Last year wasn't a very good year because my father passed away about a month prior to Thanksgiving. So we made it through. That's all we did. So I guess we got to go back and try to we got to bring our joy level up for this Thanksgiving and just allow everybody to just be excited again. Hey, my daughter my oldest baby, her just came in. Hey, honey. So yes, yeah. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Yeah, it was not a good thing. My father actually was murdered a little over a year ago, and it was such a tragic time, but we got through it and we're still getting through it. You said adjust my camera. Oh, sweetie. Thank you. Only my daughter. She's so sweet. Thank you, hon. I didn't realize my camera had slid over to to that other side. Oh, you so sweet. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, honey. Okay. That's better, right? Okay. All righty. So yeah, it was, but we've gotten through it. And all I can do, you see the smile that I have? Can I tell you it's my daddy's smile? So when I smile, I see my dad every time I smile, because that's all my daddy ever did was just smile. He had this big old grin on his face all the time. So that actually brings me a lot of joy that the smile that I have actually makes me think of my dad. So yeah. So guys, I'm not gonna hold you much longer. Thank you. I love it too because it reminds me of my daddy. So yeah, for those of you who are new, would you please go out to bit.ly/cultivating joy, and that way you'll be on our list. Excuse me. Yeah, you'll be on our list. And when we get ready to do things, and hopefully I believe in January, I'm going to be doing a class. I'm really thinking about doing a class for the moms. And yeah, so I want you to make sure that you get on the list, and then we'll be able to contact you when I'm able to do that. So again, I thank you all so much for being with me on today. And again, please make sure you keep your joy elevated through this season because it is needed, okay? And like I said, if you're running around kind of grumpy and you're cooking Thanksgiving dinner, your food won't taste good. But if you are smiling and you're excited and you're feeling the love, guess what? Your food gonna taste amazing. So that's a tip. Smile, have joy while you're cooking, and your food will taste great, okay? Well, thank you guys so much for joining me on tonight. I love you all. I will see you on Monday. Please make sure you have a wonderful weekend. I know I am. I got so many exciting things going on. I can't even believe it. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Hey, Julia, how are you? So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you guys on Monday. For those of you who are coming in, please make sure you swipe and you share. And all of my replay viewers, I want to say thank you. I love you. Bye-bye.